Hey everyone, it's Gabe for Grizzly Ginger Disc Golf. In this video I'm going to talk about what I do specifically for putting practice, some games I play, what I do to evaluate myself, and some technique problems that I've worked through in the past month of practicing every single day. If you haven't watched my video on scheduling, go do that now. I can't tell you just how important scheduling is for practice every day. Scheduling your practice removes the hurdle of motivation and turns practice into a discipline. First, here's what I use. I take 3 putters, the same mold, plastic, and as close as possible to the same weight as the putter I use during actual rounds. Right now it's a little weird because I putt with the Dynamic Discs Marshall, but I'm still practicing with my 3 AVRs. However, I do have a couple of Wardens on the way, but I'm loving the Marshall, so I'll be picking a few more of those up after I sell more of my Innova discs. A couple of other things I use are a measuring wheel. This helps me get distances from the basket accurately, and bright orange disc cones. I use 5 of these for my putting practice. I got both of those from Amazon for 21 bucks. A typical practice putting for me is a game I got from an Instagram post combined with a bit of the Perfect Putt 360 app. I use the measuring wheel and cones to mark off 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 feet from the basket. Then I start at 10 feet, throwing 3 putts at a time. If I make all 3, I move back 5 feet. If I miss 1 or 2, I move up 5 feet. If I miss all 3, I start over at 10. I love this game because it ensures that I'm throwing more putts from distances I'm comfortable with. Plus, it's pushing my circle of confidence back, so I'll get more and more practice at the farther distances, the more I get better at the shorter ones. At the end of each session, I usually throw 2 putts from each distance for points. And then I score it based on the distance from the basket, so 10 feet is 10 points for each putt. So 2 putts from each of those distances equals 200. This gives me a continuous assessment of my putting while still spending most of my time actually practicing. I also assess myself at least once a week by warming up with the previous mentioned game and then playing a round of Perfect Putt 360. If you don't have this app, I highly recommend it. It's only $1 and one of the best tools I've used to track my putting practice. It gives you points for putts made, for first and last putts made in a set, and bonus points for making all 10 putts from a given distance. So, like most disc golfers, I started off as a spin putter, and while I had plenty of distance, I was super inconsistent and would often miss right or left. I recently started push/loft putting after watching Dave Feldberg's putting clinic. However, after playing a few rounds in the Oklahoma winds, I have realized that both styles have their place, and I practice both regularly. Although in reality, I am a spush putter. I take the best of what I think is the best of both styles and integrate it into my style. Since putting, is such a personal thing. So if you have a style that works for you, stick with it and practice it. But in practicing spin putting, the most important part for me was learning the hit and practicing pointing my fingers at the pole with my follow through. That ensures that my putt flies straight at the basket. I can only miss high or low. And if I miss low, it bounces off the basket and it's right in front. If I miss high, it's a little bit more of a comebacker. Before I started push putting, because I'm tall, I was putting hunched over because I thought it gave me a better view of the basket. But once I started putting with a straight back and actually focusing on keeping my lower back tight, I was actually able to feel the weight transfer that has to happen if you want any kind of distance when you're push putting. And it actually improved my accuracy spin putting because pointing my fingers at the basket, I was able to actually get weight transfer toward the basket. Just this last week, I figured out what works best for me for 20-foot putts and beyond. While keeping that straight back, extension right at the pole, and balancing on the front foot made my putting at least 60% more accurate. It feels similar to what I think Jennifer Allen's putting style looks like, but it's probably not. She has phenomenal balance and just way better than mine. That's all for this video. Up next, I'm going to talk about how I do field work and some videos and drills that have really helped my form click in the past few weeks. Look for that next weekend. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more. If you have any questions, comments, constructive criticism, leave those in the comments. If you don't like this video, tell me why. Discussion and positive change, always my goals. That's how we get better. If you want more frequent updates, give me a follow on Instagram and Twitter at GGDiscGolf. And until next time, remember, everyone was a beginner once.